What's up, everybody? Adam Bush here. Hey, for a little while now, we've been talking about the 2019 Compassion Offering, where we're partnering with 23 organizations locally and worldwide to make a difference. So with that said, today I'm going to share 2 news stories with you, and they come from the city I live in and love, Tulsa, Oklahoma. First, I'm going to sit down with my pal Keith Reed and talk about the work that his organization is doing in serving families in North Tulsa. And then my buddy Chris is going to share a pretty cool story with you and talk about how we want to be prepared in 2019 when national disaster hits. Let's go. Today, our story takes us to the intersection of Pine and Lewis to a little place called the Reed Foundation. This awesome dude is Keith Reed.
I grew up around here. Boxing was the way out because it gave me structure. It was something that just kept me out of trouble.
All right, so that's pretty awesome. He found something that not only helped him stay out of trouble, but gave him a place to belong.
I started boxing, and then all of a sudden, I started seeing kids that was getting in trouble. I said, what is the solution of getting kids out of trouble? I said, boxing. And I started at a recreation center. They had football, lessons, all the sports they had. And I said, can you add boxing to that? They said, well, who's going to teach it? I said, I will.
In 2014, the Reed Foundation was born. Coach Reed and his team of volunteers, they train kids in boxing, and through that they also teach them leadership skills and things like how to respect authority. During the school year, they serve over 60 kids every day, and during the summer it's even more. Now here's where the story gets really interesting. I met Coach Reed a few months ago when we as a church gave the foundation a van that they desperately needed. While I was there working on this story, something was incredibly clear. Coach Reed is doing more than just running a gym.
At school program, at school meals, we have a recess, and after that, then we sit around, tell me about your day.
You need a car seat for your kid? Coach Reed is on it. Your kid needs something to eat after school? The Reed Foundation has got you covered. While we were working on this story, Coach and his team were watching one of the kids that got kicked out of school just so the kid wasn't out on the street. Seriously, they're being a father to the fatherless. And in the middle of this whole thing, they're showing them God.
They know from being around the Reed Foundation and watching my struggle. And I always explain to her, there's God. Coach, how much did this cost? I said, no, there's God. It didn't cost anything. Just like we got blessed with a van from Church on the Move.
The Reed Foundation, they need more space. Their facility, it needs to be remodeled and opened up. Through the Compassion Offering, we're going to raise the money to pay to make that happen. It's going to make a huge impact on the Reed Foundation and the families they're serving.
Thank you, church. I did not know there'd be that many great people in one spot, and I thank God from Church on the Move.
So let's do it. Let's raise the money and give the Reed Foundation the boost they need to serve the families that God has called and equipped them to serve. Real Jesus, radical compassion. Let's go.
Back in 2016, a massive flood hit Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The devastation was intense. And so we as a church, we sent down a whole crew of go-teamers to help with the cleanup. My friend Russell was one of those guys. While he was down there, Russell met this amazing family, Sinitra and her 3 children.
Sinitra took us on a tour of the house to show us the devastation from the flooding. They lost everything, no material possessions left in their house.
Russell and the crew started working immediately, ripping out drywall when Asante, Sinitra's 9-year-old son, just kind of showed up out of nowhere.
He's just looking at me, and he's not saying anything. And so I just asked him if he wants to help, and he shook his head yes. So I handed him a pry bar and showed him how to use it, and we tore out his room.
At the time, Asante didn't really have a father figure in his life.
If I would go take a break, he would go take a break, and vice versa, He worked beside me the whole day. He never left my side.
Later that night, everyone got together for a meal, and they were able to give Asante a new Bible and some toys.
To see his expression on his face from nothing to just this huge smile, it was just amazing to see that.
When Russell got back to Tulsa, the very first text he got was from Asante. Just wanted to make sure that he got home okay. Like, what 9-year-old thinks like that? It's amazing. But that's not where the story ends. In fact, Russell and Asante have maintained their relationship. They're still friends to this day.
We talk every weekend. We talk about whatever Asante wants to talk about.
Russell and Asante's friendship has bled into the families, and now the families are connected. In fact, they even came up to Tulsa to visit. Russell's had an impact in Asante's life much more than just helping with his house. In fact, just a couple weeks ago, Asante got baptized at his home church in Baton Rouge. I mean, how cool is that?
When I went down for this trip, I was going solely to work. It made me realize that it's not about the tearing stuff apart. It's about the individuals, the relationships. I still get emotional whenever I talk about it.
None of this would be possible if we don't have the resources to send people out, to send support, to send help. So here's what we want to do. During this season of compassion, we want to raise $50,000 for disaster relief, to pay for supplies and support for people in the middle of the fight. But it's more than just supplies. This is a gateway to relationships. This is a way for us to come together and introduce people to the real Jesus.